Alright, back at it after a brief intermission. I gotta do the valve cover gasket. I'm leaning towards there is no thermostat, or the thermostat is stuck. I gotta take and make the delete plate for the EGR, and I'm gonna do something with the valve cover. I'm not sure what yet. Possibly black wrinkle paint, or maybe polish it. I'm not really sure yet, so let's get at it. Well, already starting this, I can see why the valve cover was leaking. I did not pre-loosen these. The only semi-tight one. But I figure I already have the gasket. Might as well do it anyways. And I said, while I'm at it, I'll do something with the valve cover. Make it look a little pretty, but I mean, seems like as bad as this thing was covered in oil, they would have figured out, hey, it's the valve cover gasket, or at least tried to tighten it up. But once again, something fucking little kid would do. Alright, so I ended up using the crinkle textured paint. It definitely did its job. It's kind of crazy looking. The one I did on the 810 came out a lot smoother visually, but I mean, whatever. It's better than it was. And after I get the thing on the truck, I'm gonna come back in here and kind of smooth the lines out on top of all the lettering. And I'm gonna paint it kind of a gold bronze color to match the wheels, kind of tie everything in together. But not bad. I already had it, so it was worth the use. But so now I'm gonna throw a valve cover gasket on it and get it back on its home. Alright, so when I do valve covers, especially on these Datsuns, they have a tendency to wander. So what I do is I'll take a little bit of RTV, kind of like what I did with the Weber adapter. Just kind of do just enough, just to kind of tack it on, so it'll stay a little bit. And then if you ever have to pull the valve cover back off, it'll stick to the valve cover, and you can just pull it on and off with these. You don't have to try to fight everything going back together. So let it sit for a minute, throw it back on, check it out and see how it looks. Alright, well, I found some not so cool shit going on with this thing. Nothing that's going to affect it yet, but I'm sure in the future I'll have to deal with this. I don't believe these head bolts are factory, which isn't a big deal at all, but when I was cleaning the mating surface of the head, I bounced into this and noticed it spun. So I was like, fuck, it's loose. You know, I'll undo the head and I'll retorque it down. Well, I grab it and it's broke off. And it almost screams too tight to me. A little worrisome, but it doesn't burn coolant. It doesn't burn anything. So I'm gonna run it as it is right now. Although it's probably not the best idea. I mean, the worst that's gonna happen is I'll blow a head gasket or start leaking. I'll have to deal with it sooner or later, but for the time being, it's okay. I'm gonna run it, although I really don't want to, but I have no choice at this point in time. So I'm just gonna pull the bolt in the washer, pretend I never saw it, and go from there. Deal with it later on. Looks better than it did, that's for sure. Engine compartment looks a lot better than when I got it. So I'm just gonna run it. I gotta, hopefully it'll last me a couple months till I can get everything going with my Cherry, get that back up and going. I have to have the axles rebuilt, but I gotta send them out to Utah because I can't find anywhere in Washington that will rebuild them for me. And make the EGR delete tonight. I gotta cut that bumper apart. That's what I'm gonna make it out of. A little more cleaning up in the engine bay, and I'm gonna call it. And then it's on to wiring in the rear to get taillights and everything functioning properly. And the roadster seat in the passenger side in and mounted. Funny thing is though, I bought this today. And I think I'm gonna strap it in the back of the truck and be good to go in case some crazy head shit goes down and I have to get somewhere. So, and it kind of matches the truck. Pretty cool. But yeah, I just got to get this thing up and going and stop driving a V8 car. I can't afford it, but I don't want to afford it. $5+ a gallon. So stay tuned for more crazy shit.